Good afternoon, Graham from GC Bike Repairs here. Just about to perform a rear hub service on this lovely wheel. So if you just have a look and then see what I'm doing. So here we go. So first of all, take the quick release off because I've already removed the cassette. And then taking off the rubber seal so we can access the cones and the lock nut. That's this little rubber grommet here. Then what we need then is some cone spanners, which generally look like something like that. So normally on a rear wheel, 15mm for the inner cone, and then 17 for the outside one. So it's basically just a case of pushing one against the other depending on how tight they are. So holding the wheel, one against the other, and then normally you can undo it. Don't need the spanner, so you can undo it with your hand. So then you've got the lock nut, normally a little washer, just like that. Put them there. Then it's a case of undoing the internal cone. That's still a little bit tight, so put the cone spanners back on. There we go, it's coming undone, nice and easy. So that's the inner cone off the non-drive side of the wheel out. So we'll inspect that in a minute for wear. So the next part is what we need is some sort of tub. I normally use ice cream tub because it's perfect. So all we need to do then is put it down on the workbench. And then what I normally do is put the wheel over the top of it. So any bearings you've got, when you take the axle out, it won't necessarily just all fall out on the floor. So there's our axle, all grimy and mucky, ready to be cleaned up. And then it's just a case of popping out the bearings, which in this case on the rear wheels, they're 1/4 inch bearings. And as you can hear, most of them are dropping through. So that's good. And there's basically 9 1/4 inch bearings in each side of this wheel. So just a case of getting them through. That's the last one. And then we have it. There's the inside of the free hub body, and then the non-drive side looks something like that. So now it's a case of getting a rag. Let's put the bearings over there. So when we want to give the hub a bit of a clean, so we can get it all ready for, I normally find this sometimes the best way to get it all out, and looking like the bearing surfaces are all good, which is always good. Now for the free hub side, luckily we've got a bit of moisture in there, so it means that the ball bearings haven't been running dry in there, which then normally grinds the hubs completely to pieces. So making sure we clean all the inside the free hub. Give it another spin. So that's basically our hub all clear from grease and muck. Next thing, let's have a look at the cone from the non-drive side. That looks pretty good. Now for the cleaning of the axle and the freewheel, or the cassette, where the cassette sprockets are, that side. And again, making sure we get all the grime and the muck off of it. Which again, looking at the bearing surface, is a shiny bit, it's nice and clean. So that's good. Now to just get some 1/4 inch bearings. So I have some here in my perfectly little drawer. So then we want some bearing grease, which I use this one, which is really good for doing bearings and hubs and things like that. Just a case of getting some in there, inside the free hub, put it all around. Making sure it's all around inside. So now it's just a case of putting the bearings in. If you've got enough grease in there, you should better just drop these in. And they should sit there nice. Sometimes it's good to rotate the wheel round, just so you can drop the bearings in and you can count them at the same time, so you know that none of the bearings have fallen out. So at the moment we've got 4 in there. That's my 9th one. As you can see, they're all in there. Now we just get another layer of grease, just to put over the top, just to give it a little bit of extra coverage. That's that side. Just open up these a little bit. Now we need to do the freewheel side, or cassette. So again, 9 1/4 inch bearings. Six. There's our 9, as you can see. Put these bearings out of the way. Another bit of grease just to top it up. A bit more. Then got our axle back into the wheel. It should go back in all nice. Then what we need to do then is turn it round. Now I'm going to refit my non-drive side cone. You should be able to just wind this in nice and easy without any force. As long as the threads are all okay, it should be quite a simple job to do this bit. Then we put our washers, spacers back on. Last thing is our lock nut. So now what we got to do now is basically get the 15 and the 17. 15 for the inner cone, and then the 17 for the outer cone. And then what you're trying to achieve is to try and get the axle nice and smooth without any resistance. Sometimes it won't. You can do it first time, and look at that, absolutely spot on. So let's just double check that's tight. Yeah. Now you remember the little rubber thing we took off at the beginning? It's just like a rubber dust seal basically to stop any grime or any sort of stuff going in. So then it's just a case of popping that back on. And that's it. All done. So that was a rear hub, new bearing hub service. So now to do the front one, but I'll do that one in a bit. Thanks for joining me on GC Bike Repairs. More videos to follow. Cheers, bye.